The purpose of this video is to show you some of the most important lessons that I have learned this year in 2020 as it relates to Forex trading, my business, and also my personal life. This year you can learn from some of my challenges, some of my mistakes, so that going forward next year, it can help you in your trading journey, your business life if you do own a business, and also your personal life. So before you go and click on the next recommended video in your feed, I just want to let you know that the things that I've learned this year and that I've made this video about, there's 7 of them, they have literally cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars, hundreds of hours of wasted time, and a ridiculous amount of stress. And had I known how to approach these things and already had the information to go through these challenges before this year, before learning them, it would have saved me all that money, all that time, and all that stress. So before you choose to leave this video, just understand you're literally wrecking yourself for next year, because if you don't know these things are non-negotiable. You will go through them at some point if you haven't already, and so it's best to just learn them. It's super simple. There's only 7 of them. I'm going to teach it all to you right now. Just hit the like button on the video and let's get started. So to give a summary of 2020, just to recap, this year was amazing. It was a bunch of challenges, crazy, definitely one of the hardest years of my life, but also one of the best. And the best place to start is at the end of 2019. My trading was beginning to go better than ever. I was making 10, 20, 30, 40K a month trading the last couple months of the year in 2019. My business was growing a lot. Mission FX was doing 20, 30, 40, 50K a month the last couple months of 2019. And this momentum continued into January. Trading was going better than ever. January, February, March, April, and so was my business. But then something happened in March and April. COVID happened. The world went into crazy shambles. Everything started going crazy. The markets and trading were amazing, but there was also a lot of stuff that wasn't amazing. Things got really stressful for a lot of people and made people make really crazy, weird decisions and a lot of stressful decisions they had to make. Also, my program, Mission FX, got pirated, and so I had to put all these systems in place, and my program got released online everywhere, and it was really stressful for me to have to deal with that because I never encountered it before. There was also a ton of criticism. As I was rising up, through the ranks of YouTube here and growing my YouTube channel and on social media, Instagram and stuff, I started encountering a lot of criticism, which is rightfully so. Anyone getting more powerful or anyone sort of getting a bigger following online and becoming an influencer, they're faced a lot of criticism, and I didn't really know how to handle all that. And so it caused me to get distracted. This distraction caused me a lot of decline, and it caused me a decline in my trading, and it also caused a decline in my business. Also, YouTube and Facebook started disbanding our ads, so I didn't have a way to grow my business anymore. Aside from making videos here on YouTube and continuing to post on Instagram back when I did. And so our ads got all shut down. So a bunch of crazy stuff happened in 2020, and I didn't know how to counter all these. So I had to learn all these things I'm about to teach you to learn how to get through all of them. After all this crazy stuff happened, things started getting better. Me and Momo started, one of my top students from back in 2018. We started a sort of an analysis group called Levels FX. We ran that for 3 months, and cumulatively between both of our trades, every single week, that's 12 weeks in a row, was profitable for 3 months straight in Levels FX from all the trades that we were calling and the analysis that we were sharing. So that went amazing. It wasn't as profitable as we thought it would be, so we ended up stopping that and just went back to putting the value into our full programs. I have since started doing live sessions with clients. There's more one-on-one support. There's also more customer support since we have a full-time support team and stuff like that. So I really focused on making my product a lot better, and so I learned a lot of those valuable things going forward whenever things were at the lowest earlier this year. I also optimized my trading. I started looking into a couple different things that I could learn to try to make my trading system better by either adding things that worked really well or subtracting things that weren't working as well. And so I experimented with fundamentals. I experimented with a couple different trading styles. I kind of tweaked it all and sort of experimented and tested things to figure out which ones were working. And I learned a ton as a result of that. Long story short, I became way more open-minded. I developed a lot more thicker skin this year, and it ended up being one of the best years of my life from all these lessons that I've learned. So let's break each one of them down step by step. These are the most important lessons I've learned in 2020. All of these are really big deals. So let's get started. The biggest lesson I've learned ever in 2020, this is the only thing you need to know from this video, really. Hit the like button. Just do it. Just below this video, just go and smash and destroy and obliterate the like button to shreds. I want my channel to grow in 2021, and if you want to see more videos like this, I got to have some incentive. Just hit the like button, just do it, and then let's get into the actual training now. All right, so for now, the first lesson is distraction. Let's talk about distraction. There are many things you can choose to focus on in life, right? But not all these things are very beneficial things. For example, you may choose to go and watch porn on Pornhub.com for 3 hours a day. However, you know it doesn't make your life better. And then on top of not making your life better, it actually detracts from your life. It actually shows regression, and you're not making any progression in anything. You're actually moving backwards because you're wasting all that time you could have been using to improve your life. And doing things like that is just a couple things. There's a million different things you can choose to be distracted from, and also a million different things you can choose to be focused on. You have to identify what you need to focus on and stick to those, and you have to avoid doing distractions. You only have a finite amount of time as well. You only get a small nugget of time here on earth to do the things you really want to choose to do. And you have to make sure that those things are within your guidelines for what's realistic with like what your time is and how much time you can put towards them. And also that you have to make sure that the things are worth it. You have to find the most important things to do and you need to focus on them. Also, ignore the unimportant things. The unimportant things that are distractions, like scrolling through your phone on social media or in the YouTube recommendations, watching pointless cat videos all day, ignore those things, stop doing them, and instead shift your focus actively to doing the things that are important to you. The second lesson is being right a lot. In your life, you have to be able to make prudent decisions. You have to be able to make the right decisions a good chunk of the time if you want to have the most precise and accurate mindset and decision making that gets you the best results. So let's talk about how do you become right a lot. Now, people who are right a lot change their mind a lot. Why is it important for you to be right a lot? It's important because if you have prudence, the ability to successfully make the right decision almost every time, if not every time, it'll end up getting you a lot more places that you want to go in life. And it will end up getting you into situations to do the things that you really want to do a lot more often. This also goes back to distraction as well, right? You can actively choose whether or not you want to go and just screw around all day doing stupid crap, watching YouTube videos, scrolling through social media, or you can choose to get better in your trading, become a better trader, become more profitable. You can choose to work more hours at your job and get ahead more and save up more money. You can choose to build your business more. You can choose to go and work harder at your job and get a raise. There's so many things you could choose to do, and you have to be able to make the right decisions. And then what I found is that people who are right, they change their mind a lot. The world is very complex. So why would we change our mind a lot, right? There's a lot of complexities in the world. And I think that anybody who sticks to their guns 100% of the time, unless they've really thought it through, unless they really, really are convinced that that's the fact and logic, which I'll show you how it's usually not the case in most cases, is that the world is so complex, and that I think that anyone who doesn't change their mind regularly or kind of shift to one side or the other regularly, I think they're massively underestimating the complexity and the craziness of the world we live in. A lot of times, even if you're right about something like a week ago or a month ago or a year ago or 10 years ago, the world is ever changing, that there's so many different things that you can be right on back then, but you may have to change and adapt in the future to be right today. Things are unique from situation to situation. So what you have to do is you have to analyze each individual situation that you're encountered with in life, and you have to ask yourself, what is the best way to approach the situation or to solve this problem? Nothing is absolute. So keep this in mind. This is something that I want to talk to you about when I started this slide here, is that there are no blacks and whites in life. It took me a long time to get this, right? I used to stick to my guns, hell-bent, did not change my mind about anything. I thought it was weak to change my mind. But what I realized is you can't really be black and white or absolute or certain about anything in life. Every single thing that you think of, somebody could make a counter argument as to the authenticity of it. And it really comes down to what you really believe in. And what you really believe in should be based on facts, which is why you need to always look at the facts and hold nothing sacred in pursuit of the truth, which is this next part right here. You have to be self-aware. Being self-aware is key. Challenging your own beliefs and holding nothing sacred in pursuit of the truth is necessary to be an accurate thinker. And what this means, holding nothing sacred in pursuit of the truth, it means even your own beliefs, your own thought processes. If someone criticizes you or says, hey, the way you're thinking, it might be wrong. There might be a better way to do this, or I know information that you don't know yet. Why don't you take a look at this information and let's find out the truth? Don't hold anything sacred. Don't hold your own personal beliefs sacred and just blindly follow them in the absence of the truth. Don't try to ignore what the truth is or ignore what the facts are just to keep thinking that you're right. If you want to be right, you must be willing to challenge your own beliefs and hold nothing sacred in pursuit of the truth. And that way you can become a more accurate thinker. And always remember that facts don't care about your feelings. Don't be afraid to backtrack on your beliefs from the past. It's okay to change your mind, and it's okay to be ridiculed for it. It's okay for people to not like you. It's okay for people to say, oh, you backtracked on what you say. It's painful to watch, especially politicians saying one thing and they end up changing their mind in the future because what they initially said, They didn't have all the information in the beginning, and so they ended up changing their mind and saying something different, and they just get ridiculed and attacked for it. It's okay to change your mind, and it's okay for you to change your mind a lot. No one can hold you to who you were yesterday or last week or last year. If you have new information that makes you think a different way or makes you change your beliefs, it's okay to change it. It's okay to change it, because if you're willing to do that and challenge your own belief systems, you can get better at being right a lot. The third lesson, thinking in first principles. So I want you to do this. I want you to identify and define your current assumptions. Your current assumptions about anything. You may currently believe that the earth is flat, or that the earth is round, or that the earth is a triangle, or whatever. But first principle says that you identify and define your current assumptions, and you hold nothing sacred in pursuit of the truth. And then you also abandon ideas that don't align with facts and embrace ideas that do align with facts. You also break down each individual problem that you encounter into its fundamental components, and you find new solutions, and you innovate and invent if none exist. And you reason by first principles instead of analogy. So a first principles thing would be saying like for example, Elon Musk, he wanted to build electric cars, and the price of the batteries were like 60% of what the actual cars costed. And so the normal principle suggests that, hey, this is just how it's going to be. The batteries are going to cost 60% of the vehicle. It's just going to be that way forever. But Elon Musk said, like, well, hold on. Wait. Instead of just saying like that assumption is true, that it's just 60% of the cost, that's how it's always going to be. Instead, let's hold nothing sacred in pursuit of the truth. Let's identify that this is our current assumption, and let's understand that it might not be right, and then let's go out and find the facts. And so Elon Musk went and found the facts and found out, hey, we could source all these different materials to make these batteries cheaper, and these are the facts. If we do it ourselves, we'll have to put proper structures in place and proper systems to go out and source these like things that we have to mine out of the ground to go and make these batteries. But instead of making our batteries to be 60% of the cost of the car, we can lower it like all the way to like 10% or less of the cost of the car. And he did that by breaking down the problem to the fundamental components. He found new solutions. He innovated and invented and found different ways that he could go about getting these materials to make the battery. And he literally created an entire system for lowering the cost of the batteries, doing something that everyone else thought was impossible because they just based what they thought out of assumptions. First principles thinking says, let's swipe aside all of the assumptions and push everything to the side. And instead, let's get as close as we can to the facts, examine those, and then base our principles off the facts. The fourth lesson, criticism and feedback. Let's talk about it. Whenever someone criticizes you, or someone says, hey, what you're doing is wrong, what you're doing is stupid, instead of just immediately defending yourself. I used to do this. I did this like all year, this year, and plenty of other years in my life. Instead of just defending yourself when you're criticized, ask yourself, are my critics right? Am I doing something wrong? Could I be doing something better? And if the answer is yes, you can, and yes, you're wrong, and yes, there's ways that you can do this better, then change. It's okay. It's okay to be wrong. What's not okay is to be wrong and then not admit that you're wrong and then continue doing the same thing over and over. That is not beneficial for you, and it's also not beneficial for the rest of the world. So if it turns out that you're wrong, or you don't believe you're right anymore, or if you believe that there's parts of what you were doing or the way that you thought that were wrong and you need to slightly modify a couple things to be right or to get closer to the truth, then just change. It's okay to change. Don't worry about holding yourself to who you were yesterday or the day before. It's okay to change. And if you don't believe you're doing something wrong, by the way, don't change, no matter how much pressure is brought for you to bear. Don't change. If you looked yourself in the mirror and you really asked yourself and down in your heart, do I believe that what my critics are saying, do I believe that they're right? Or is it the truth? And if you don't believe that it's the truth, honest in your heart and being completely 100% real in yourself, looking yourself in the mirror and having to tell it to your own face that you think that you're right, then just don't change. It's okay. It's not everyone's going to embrace what you do, and not everyone is going to embrace you pioneering things and doing new things or doing different things outside of the norm. It's okay to be different. But if you've looked yourself in the mirror and you don't think you're doing anything wrong, just don't change, okay? The fifth lesson was having a day one mindset. And before we go here, do you know what day one is? Let's talk about what day one is in business and in your personal life. Jeff Bezos explains it really well. Check it out.
Day two is stasis, followed by irrelevance, followed by excruciating, painful decline, followed by death. And that is why it is always day one.
So in business, and also in trading, and also in personal life, we must fend off day two. Day two, it's that point where you feel like you've got it all figured out. The point where you feel like, look, I've already accomplished everything I need to do. Now I'll just keep doing this over and over. However, day two is static. It keeps you stuck in the same spot, and you'll also get wiped out if anything changes in the future because you're not actively looking to change and adapt and innovate and become better and better. Day two is stasis, followed by irrelevance, followed by excruciatingly painful decline, followed by death. You need to show up every single day to your trading, every single day to your business, every single day to your personal life as if it is day one. And you must become a lifelong learner, because if you don't, you're going to get screwed like I did this year, where you think everything's going to continue as it normally did, where I think my trading is going to continue fine as it did, where I think my business is going to continue fine and YouTube and Facebook are going to have my ads approved forever. Like, things can change. You must always be willing and prepared, and also embracing change and the ability to change and make things better in your life. So show up every single day as if it's day one. Always pursue progress, constantly engage in the constant pursuit of progress. The sixth lesson, and this is a very important one, change. This next part right here kind of goes hand in hand with the last thing, with the keeping a day one mindset, and it's change. You must seek and embrace change in the pursuit of becoming better. And I don't mean just like letting it happen if it prevents itself. I mean, once you're doing something, 99% of the time, there's a way to do it better. And you know that, like, if you really thought it through, if you really took an astronomical amount of time to think it through or test and experiment with things, you can find a way to do something better that you're doing, or to be more right about something, or to further optimize something it is you're doing. And so that's why, instead of just kind of like letting change come up and like kind of like find you and like say, hey, it's time to change. If I were you, I would like find something, and once it's going well and you think you have your good beliefs, or you think you've solved a problem really well and it's working well, actively seek out and embrace change in the pursuit of constantly becoming better. You can identify things in your life that can be done better. And by the way, you can also identify things that you don't think can be done better. And if you don't think that certain things can be done better, you're probably wrong, and you should go out and really try to look and dig deep into the first principles of why you think that can't be done better, and figure out if it can be done better. And once you've identified these things that you can do better, just experiment with them. Experiment, innovate, and invent new solutions to problems that can make you a better person, that can make your business better, that can make your trading better. And oftentimes you have to pioneer things in order to do this. You'll experiment, find some things that work and don't work, and the things that do work really well, focus on those things and innovate and invent new things and new solutions to problems so that you can solve them better, become a better person. And win-win solutions is another one. Finding win-win solutions means I don't have to have something at the expense of another. I don't have to win one battle over here at the cost of losing this other battle. Try to find new solutions that are not black and white, new solutions in which it's better for you and it's also better for the world. It's better for you in your trading and your personal life and your business life. Win-win solutions are usually something that you'll have to innovate and invent in order to make better. The seventh lesson, smile a lot. This is a huge one. Smile a lot. Think about this. Imagine if you woke up every day and the things that would normally make you upset or pissed off or angry or frustrated, imagine if you just laughed them off. Don't think things negatively, and find the positive in all situations, and be positive enough to even joke about the things that would normally make you upset or pissed off or angry. Literally, just smile more about it. Stay focused on just being positive. So stay focused on positivity and being happy, and be so thankful for everything that you have the blessing to experience, because there are some people in this world that would literally kill to have your life. So even though you may be stressed out at times, you may think that you're in the worst spot in the world, chances are if you're watching this video, you're alive. Chances are you may be relatively healthy. And if you're not healthy, at least you still have your life. And if you still have your life, there's still things you can do to optimize and improve, no matter how big or how small. The bottom line is, in order to be happy, I found a great thing that's worked really well for me this year is smile a lot. Don't take things negatively, even if it's someone literally trying to test you or trying to get a rise out of you or trying to make you upset. They're being judgmental. They're criticizing you. Find the positive in all situations, and literally be so above all of the noise and the racket to literally joke about the things that would normally make you upset. People will look at that and they'll be like, wow, this person, I'd be stressed out if I were him. I'd be upset and depressed, but he's literally laughing about it, and he's just being positive, and he or she is still moving forward in life. That's kind of crazy. That's pretty awesome. And you can do this by staying focused on positivity and being happy, and just showing gratitude, appreciation, and thankfulness for everything that you have had the blessing to experience in your life. So these are the most important lessons that I've learned in 2020. And as a result of these, I'm a better person and I'm better prepared to go into 2021 knowing these things. I hope that you've learned as much as I have from this video as I have learned here in 2020. And I hope that you go into 2021 with the best possible chance of success possible. So hit the like button on this video if you haven't already. Consider subscribing to my channel if you hadn't. If you'd like to learn my free training for like how to structure your trading system to get and stay predictably profitable, hit the link in the description below. It's like a free training where it teaches you how to go about trading the right way. And then, yeah, and I'll see you on the next videos that I upload here next year. So cheers, everyone. You'll have a great year.